Welcome to Friday Fish Facts. I'm your host, Ron DeSantis. Today is Tuesday. I realize today is Tuesday, and normally we are on Wednesdays, but I realized that I can't go tomorrow because tomorrow is the kids' last day of school for the year. And I thought I want to do a live stream this week, and I want to do one with. Let's just turn this off right here. I want to do one with no guests this week. I just kind of wanted to focus on everyone in the chat today and say hi because I know I haven't been on very often over the last couple of months, I would say. Just been super busy with coaching both of my kids' baseball teams, but baseball season is over now. And yeah, we are ready to hang out and visit with everyone. So I'm just going to fire the chat up here because I didn't yet. Because I'm out of practice, So I just wanted to, take this one to focus on everyone that's here. Focus on the chat today because we usually do the interviews here and they're so much fun, but I feel like I'm talking at you guys and not with you. So I thought I would come on for the first time in a while here and just go one-on-one with everyone who's in the chat today. So I might need to scroll backwards and say hello to everyone that's here today. Kind of want to talk about what's going on, what I've been doing lately, and I do have some more guests that are lined up to be coming on, so we're going to continue with the Hangin with series. But yeah, I just wanted to hang out with everyone tonight and just kind of say what's going on, everyone. So I'm going to go back here and start right at the beginning of the stream because I missed the beginning here. So let's go back to the top. So we've got Daryl Deemer here. We've got Fish Tank Barn. Mike is here. I was over on Mike's stream earlier today. Tabitha Tom was the first one here. Dan Sleek, Candy Overhauls. Big D Smoke is here. We've got Scott from King and Queen Cichlids. As I was mentioning, I do have some guests lined up. Scott is hopefully one of them. We've got Pam 54 Punchy is here. Denny's Fish Tanks is here. Daryl Deemer is here. Anthony's Fishy Friends, hello, what's going on? Mandy, my Hectic Life Pets. Mandy, what's going on? Good to see you tonight. Jess Shrimp Granny, hello, welcome. Rogue Aquariums, hello. And Thirsty Rabbits, what's going on, Thirsty Rabbit? And Anthony Unconventional Aquatics, hello. Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining me. So if you saw my video last week, you would see that I've done a little bit of expanding. I kind of was, happy with just having the 5 tanks. I've got 2 large ones, and I just, I'm really getting that breeding itch. So what I've done is just got a couple of 20 gallons and built a rack, and so now we're up to 7 tanks here, which is, I know, not a giant number, but it's a good one for us. And we probably have another one coming, so we'll get up to 8 pretty quick. So basically, that's kind of what I've been doing lately. And I've got some Corridoras that I'm breeding right now, and I've got some guppies, and some of them are just like the mixed guppies. Some of them are a special strain, which I got from Bentley Pasco. Those are the Blue Hawaiian Moscow guppies, so those are really cool. My sister-in-law gave me this really cool shirt. Oh, what do you think of that? I think it's super cool. So, that's new. First time wearing it on camera. So, yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. So, Petsotics, what's going on? Chewy, hello. Dr. Black 66, good day. How are you? We've got some Aussies in the chat here today. Ciclist 23, hello. What's going on, my friend? So anyway, one of the tanks that I picked up, and we have no set topic tonight. We're just gonna hang out and see what's going on. So if people want to chime in with something, please feel free. So one of the tanks that I got, I had a quarantine tank, and my daughter really wanted a tank in her room. So just before Christmas, my 20-gallon quarantine tank became her tank. So even though I know better, I haven't had one until, well, I guess I got set that one up about a month ago. So, you know, I had got clown loaches since then and got ick and no quarantine tank. Normally when I get something, especially like a clown loach, I would put it in my quarantine tank for a while, treat it, and then put it into the main tank as a preventative measure, because treating a tank, a large aquarium, is costly when you're talking about how much medicine you need to put in that tank, and then you got to do water changes on it, and it's a pain. So I'm super happy to have the quarantine tank back, or a different quarantine tank, and yeah. Big D Smoke says, Cyclist23, man, 3 streams in a row. Yeah, already know my lid is getting heavy. My lids is getting heavy. Hey, man, if it's bedtime for you, I get it, man. I realize that it's 10 o'clock over on the East Coast, 7 o'clock over here on the West Coast. We've still got the sun up. We just finished dinner, and yeah, it was nice not being rushed today. There was no hurry up and get your cleats on. Hurry up, where's your water bottle? Where's your jersey? It's still in the wash. Put it on. Why are you going to the car without your hat on? You know, it was a kickback. It was tacos tonight. Sitting on the deck, having a little swim before we had dinner. So, yeah. Candy says, nah, he's West Coast, just old. I mean, tired. Yeah. Hey, you know what? People have had a long day, I guess, at work already, so. Haley Oddball Aquatics is here. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, the tacos were good tonight. Normally we go soft, but we went with hard tacos tonight, and they were good. I know that's a favorite among the aquarists. So, yeah, I don't know what it is with tacos and aquarius, but they go well together. Chewy says that West Coast is the best. West Coast is the best coast? I don't know. It's where I live. I'm a fan of the East Coast as well. Although I haven't done a ton of exploring on the East Coast, like New York, Toronto, that's both those cities, super, super cool. Yo, Mile High Plecos is in the house today. Another one of the videos that I've done lately was my top 5 plecos, and I did my top 5 plecos that I own. And number 3 on my list was the L182 Starlight Bristlenose. Now, I got that from Mikey, who is Mile High Plecos. It is amazing fish. He's got a lot of plecos in his place. If you haven't checked out Mile High Plecos, make sure you check him out. And if you're looking for plecos, Mile High Plecos, contact him on Instagram, man. So Scott King Creek Second says, "Where's our host at?" Ron. Where am I at? I am, in case you're wondering, if people don't know where I live in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, about 3 hours north of, well, about 2.5 hours north drive to Aquarium Co-op. For those of you that aren't familiar with where I'm at, that's where I'm at. Cyclist23 says, East Coast is more rocky, not anywhere near as beautiful as Cali, Oregon, or Washington for sure, beaches and all. Okay, yeah, I've been to all of those states because they're close to me and they're within driving distance, although I've never driven to California. I've flown there a few times, but, and that's a cheap flight. It's a cheap flight and a quick flight. Yep, another Canadian. Chewy LTD says that he used to live in Vancouver. That is awesome, man. Thank you, Candy Overhauls, for putting the link to Mile High Pleco's Instagram page there. And I have said this to her in the chat, in other people's streams before, in chats, but I haven't had a chance because, you know, and I'm also normally interviewing somebody, but I get a chance to just, a couple things to say to Candy Overhauls. Number one, thank you so much for everything that you do, not just for my channel, but for all these live streams. Some of these moderating jobs, especially lately, I've noticed, are much more difficult than they were. Cleaning up, you know, taking care of trolls and all that kind of stuff. I really appreciate what you do and everyone else does. Number two, I just want to say that I'm super happy for you and your family and your son, Caleb, who is now cancer-free and at home, and couldn't be happier for you and your family, Candy. So very happy to see that. That is awesome. King Queen Ciclet says, while we wait, I hope everyone is subbed to everyone. Got lots of stars in the house. Fish Tank Barn says, I'm close to Windsor, Ontario, and he was saying he's in Michigan, so, and talking about his hard water today. So I have not been to Michigan, but maybe one day, you know, I do love to travel. Chewy says, have you seen the mural painted at the Vancouver Aquarium? I don't know that I've noticed it. Also, for those of you who don't know, my wife is a veterinary technologist. She specializes in anesthesia and teaches the program at one of the colleges that's here. So some of her students now work at the aquarium, and she has gone in and like worked on a dolphin there and stuff like that. So sometimes we get behind the looks scenes at the aquarium, so that's pretty cool. So I have spent some time at the aquarium, so that's pretty cool. Appreciate that, Dr. Black 66 for support. Triple F, smash the like button. Lumpy Dog is in the house. What's going on, Lumpy? Anyways, yeah, so like I was saying before, we have no topic, so I'm just gonna kind of maybe I'll just start talking about some fish thing. What am I doing right now? And please chime in with what you've got, and we'll steer off and we'll talk about what you've got going on too, because I really want to focus on everyone who's just coming in here today and chat with them. Rounded Rob is here. Hello, what's going on, Rounded Rob? Chewy says, the artist I know, his work is Archer Airbrushing. We work together in the music business. He lives in Victoria. Oh, awesome. So I'm breeding like just a bunch of corridors right now, and it's really fun. I'm working on a video for that. I kind of like when I started doing like breeding. I mean, I think a lot of people start with guppies, and then you move on to other live bears, and then I was doing shrimp and plecos, and then I moved to angelfish more because my wife is a big angelfish fan. I'm not a huge angelfish fan. And then I ended up selling all the angelfish and kind of starting to try something a little bit different. I really got into apistogrammas, and I'm got the Apistogramma Cockatoo orange flash, and I have been breeding those, not to super success, but I mean I'd say half survival rate. But I mean, it is work for me doing that, because then I've got to hatch brine shrimp every 2 days, and that's, some people love doing that. That's kind of more of a chore for me. So I'm not constantly pumping out the apistogrammas, but with the corridors, I do plan to pump them out and sell them. And because I'm already hatching brine shrimp, I usually do the Quarries for, well, the first 5 days you're on Quarries, you don't need to feed them because they're on their yolk sac. But after that, I do baby brine shrimp that I hatch for a couple of weeks, and then I move over to the frozen baby brine shrimp because it's easier for the next couple of weeks, along with crushed up flakes. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it's not much more work than doing something that's easy, and so I'm gonna just go with that. Super reds, bristlenose, guppies, which have got a few. Well, I've got one like specific strain, and then the fancies, shrimp, because they're super easy too. And yeah, just gonna kind of help offset some of the costs that are associated, which everyone knows with fish keeping. So I'm going to go backwards in the chat a little bit because I did see some stuff in there and I kind of went off on a little bit of a tangent. Sickles23 said that I've been researching and almost bought the Apistogramma yesterday. Now, I have also had that super difficult for me to find. So I saw one, it was super beautiful, a male, bought it, and I've never been able to find a female for it. So poor little guy is in his tank, but it's the only grounding burrow. But if I ever see another one, I would love to whip it up, catch it. The one thing though about the cockatoides is because they've been bred in captivity for so long, they're probably the easiest Apistogramma to keep and breed. So that's another reason. And I love how beautiful they are too. Chewy saying, have you ever been to April's Aquarium in Burnaby? Yes, I was there a couple months ago, and what did I get? I got some rainbow fish that are in here from there. Actually, I had a video I made a video. It's the video of buying blue fish in my library. I went to April's Aquarium first that day, and then I went to Main Aquarium. So I bought some rainbow fish there and some guppies there, which you'll see in that video if you're interested. Yes, Cyclist23 is saying they supposedly have tons of sleeper males, so they only are selling as non-sex pairs. That's the same thing with the cockatoides. If I keep them all together, it looks like I have one, maybe 2 or 3 males in there. But if I start separating them all, then the sneaker males will start showing. Okay, let me get back in the chat here. Lumpy Dog saying, is that an archer swimming around the top of the aquarium? Yes, that is an archer swimming around the top. Unfortunately, okay, so about a little over a year ago, I bought 3. And then 2 of them died in March. I had a pH swing in all my tanks, and I lost a few fish. There was a problem in our water, and I wasn't checking before because why would I check? And the pH in the lower mainland dropped due to them stripping down the water so they could, because there was some disease in the water, and I lost a few tiger barbs, I lost a petricola, I lost 2 of the archers, and a few other things, a couple neons, things like that. I mean, lesson learned, I should be testing the water before I put it in straight out of the tap every time anyway, and I was just getting lazy and didn't. King and Queen Cichlid, $5 super chat because I love his channel. Thank you very much, Scott. I really appreciate it. Scott will be coming on this channel sometime after July 4th, and we will get to do the interview. I don't know if it's just going to be him or if it's going to be him and Liz. We'll see what's going on, whatever they decide to do. But yeah, I'll take whatever I can get. I love your channel as well. Thank you very much. Fishy Biz Aquatic says that archer looked like an African leaf fish. Ever had African leaves? No, I have not had African leaves before. Candy Overhaul says, how about 10 more likes? Well, we would appreciate that. King Queen Cichlid says, I wish I could send Fish Tank Barn a super chat. That live feed made me smile. I was looking at that too, and then I noticed Fish Tank Barn, you guys got to check out Fish Tank Barn. He has 600 and something. That's Mike. He's got 600 and something subscribers. I don't know. He's one of those guys when you look at his channel, you're like, how does this guy not have more subscribers? I don't know if it just didn't catch up. YouTube's not doing a very good job on catching up and putting his videos out there. But you've got to check out Fish Tank Barn, Mike's channel. I know Corey's noticed him because Corey's shared some of his videos before. But check him out. Go over there. Let's get him up to 1,000 subscribers one day. Carrie Pitt is in the house. Hello, Carrie. What's going on, my friend? Yes, Cyclist23 says, Mike is super smart. Great tanks and fish. And he's got like 60. So I think he's got around 60 tanks. Thank you, Candy, for putting the link in there. But that guy knows his stuff. And his pronunciation on scientific names at a drop of a hat, awesome. Chewy says, you are lucky, Friday Fish Fakes. The pH level is really low in Vancouver, perfect for softwater species, unlike hard water quality where I'm from. It is good for softwater. It is good for softwater species like the Central American cichlids and tetras and stuff like that. And then the guppies that I keep, I mean, guppies, for the most part, like the mixed guppies and stuff, they've been bred here forever. I buy them, or you get them from hobbyists, and you never have a problem with them. They can live in any type of pH. The problem that we have with the water here is normally it's at 6.8, somewhere in the 6.87 range. It's when it drops all the way down to 5.5. That's what the fish don't like, the big swing. And then, you know, then it comes back. So if it hasn't rained in a while, which the weather here has been amazing for the last few years. And I know I said few years because we're getting kind of, Vancouver's becoming like California weather. So very hot in the summertime, long summers, cold winters, but they're short. Anyway, if it rains, then the pH drops. So I have to deal with swings in pH from time to time, which I'm not in love with. But other than that, for sure. I see Melvin is in here. Quantum Star Aquatics, what's going on, Melvin? Dr. S Experiments, hello, what's going on? Thank you very much for joining me, everybody. Maria Portillo, sorry did I say Maria? Did I say your last name right? I hope I did. Thank you for joining us today. What's going on? Pam is here. Hello, 54 Punchy. What's going on? Chewy says there was a very special person that was into guppies that wrote books. His name was Philip Shattuck from New Westminster. Suggest coral for your guppies. Well, that is a great point. So that's kind of what I have. I have coral in my tanks. Sometimes crushed coral, not in this tank. I've got like big pieces in here, and that kind of helps buffer everything in here. And if I'm ever, you know, the funny thing about coral, I don't know, a lot of people probably know this. Let's say I took my API testing kit, which I got here. Right here. Let's say I took my API testing kit, and I took a sample of my pH, and it was down, and it was just showing yellow. So that's like 6 or lower. If I take that coral out, take a knife, just kind of grind a little bit off, and the dust falls into that little test tube, it's going to shoot up right away. Pretty cool how coral does that, but the science is right there. Okay, so Fishy Visit chilling with a little cognac. I'm a fan of cognac. Well, we kind of go off on a little side note right now, and some people might say this is not cognac, but Grand Marnier, my favorite cognac. And if you look at it, you're like, that's not a cognac, it's a liqueur. It is a liqueur. It's also 40% alcohol. I just drink that in a snifter from time to time, after dinner, or maybe on the weekend. Delicious. Jen Standring, I just had a weird pH thing. One tank dropped it to 6. Never had that happen before. So that can happen from time to time. So there's a few things that can cause one of your tanks to drop in pH. If you have a lot of driftwood, if you have dying plants in there, those are a couple of things that I could think of off the top of my head. If you have almond leaves in there, almond leaves will lower your pH. So if I have like, one of my tanks, I'm going to put some Caridina shrimp in, and they like their pH a little bit lower than the Neocaridina. So I'll be putting almond leaf in there. Carrie Pitt, $10 Canadian super chat. Your patience should be rewarded. Thanks. Carrie, thank you very much. Carrie's a great dude. We message each other from time to time over on Instagram. That's another thing. If anyone ever wants to get a hold of me and just say, hey, what's up, chat fish or whatever, I'm on Instagram. DM me, and I'm more than happy to talk fish or, you know, whatever else is on your mind. And thank you very much. A little Grand Marnier is good as spaghetti sauce. Ooh, that's interesting. I may have to try that. I love spaghetti. I'm Italian. Cyclist23 says, fried fish facts, since you kept the Borelli and other Apistos. Well, I've only had Borelli and the Cockatoides, a couple different kind of Cockatoides. Sorry, my daughter's friend just showed up. Might hear some girls laughing. Do you feel they need dither fish to thrive? I've only had them breed with dither fish. like neon tetras and rummy nose. I've had them in a tank by themselves when I first got. When I first got them and they didn't breed. Was that possibly because they didn't have dither fish? Maybe. It was also in a 10-gallon. And then I moved them to a 29-gallon, and they did a lot better in there. So since then, I have gone with dither fish. But you know, it depends, and that's a good question. And not all fish are the same. Like I was talking a little bit about Corridoras at the beginning, and I can't get Corridoras to breed if I have like one other fish with them. I have to keep them in species only tank, even if it's a betta. The betta gets either they're not laying eggs or the betta's getting them before I see them. Same with if I have a pleco in there. If I have the Quarries just in their own tank, then every time I do a cold water change, I get eggs. So depends on the fish, and yeah. 626 says, I was recommended the red arch pencil fish. With them, of course, they look amazing, but are like $11 each. They're also super difficult to find, but they're way cooler than the regular pencil fish, in my opinion. Yeah, I've only seen them in person once, and I was even down at Aquarium Co-op. It's funny, we were talking about these, and they hadn't had them in there forever. Big D Smoke trying to rig these glasses now. They keep sliding off. Question of the night: has Ron ever rocked the mustache? The answer is yes. And I did it in the fall because I was Jack from This Is Us for Halloween. And so I grew a mustache, and I had it on for a couple of live streams. I'm trying to remember who the guest was. But I might have had it on for 2 or 3. It didn't look good, I'll tell you that right now. But, you know, yeah, I rocked it for a bit. Okay, let me see here. Okay, I'm going back here. I think Jen says I think they have some of those red pencil fish at Rogers Aquatics in Surrey. That's a great store, by the way. I've seen some people saying that there are no fancy plecos in Vancouver. Well, that store always seems to have fancy plecos, so check it out. 623, did you have your playoff beard when the Canucks went to the Cup? Yes, I did, and I did, and it was massive. This was before I was on YouTube because it was like 2002 when they lost to the Bruins. Anyway, different story. No, it wasn't that long ago. 2012. I'm a sheet metal worker now. So the last 5 years I've been in the office. I do layout on AutoCAD and sales for sheet metal, but I used to be on the tools, and because I had this big beard and you're supposed to wear a respirator when I'm welding, it wouldn't fit. So I made it till the end of the playoffs, took it off. I never even trimmed it. It was like growing in my mouth. It was disgusting. Okay. Let me just see here. Dancy said, believe you said you were getting some Caridina. What type? Just the crystal red shrimp, and not like a high grade. Just because I like them. Yeah. 623 says the West Spot has both Friday fish packs. Yes. But living in Canada, I would have to get them shipped to somewhere near the border, drive down and get them, which I have done. But it is, it's a hassle. So I really have to want something if I can't find it. And I also find that like fish, especially like when I start getting into these fancier fish, if I get them from a hobbyist that are already used to our water, they do really well compared to sometimes hit and miss if I get it from somewhere imported. Jen says, you're right, they do have awesome plecos there. I got my gold nugget from there. Okay. King Creek says, fish tank looks great behind you. Thank you very much, Scott. I thought I saw some other questions in here. Somebody was asking me, soft water is the key to apistogrammas. Yes, that's correct. Same with rams. Um, okay, I think we're, guys, crystals are cool. Looking forward to seeing them. Yeah. So crystal shrimp, and I'll get some more neocaridina blues. Kind of want to spread things around. So we'll see. I mean, I just, yeah, I want to go. It's funny because I'm kind of going, I've never been into the monster fish, like arowanas and stuff like that. Not that they're cool. I'm just not into owning one. And then I just kind of always really getting into like weird fish that like are super rare and all that. But I'm kind of coming full circle and coming back because some of those like hard fish are like impossible to breed or super difficult. Scott's asking me, what filtration system do you have in the tank behind you? You probably can't see if I open this. That's just, yeah, you can't. Well, maybe if I tip it. FX6 right there, and sponge filter in the corner over there. I kind of use a combination. I'm not a diehard any type of filtration person. I have a mix of everything. I have sponge filters in almost all my tanks with hang-on backs. I have, my quarantine tank has only got a hang-on back, and then I've got, okay, let's see. Because I have the fry and I have shrimp and stuff, and those sponge filters are so good for having fry nibble on them. That's why I have Java moss too. Java moss like gets everywhere. It's kind of a pain, but it's good for fry. But yeah, I've hang on. Besides, this is the only tank that doesn't have a hang on back filter. Every other tank has a hang on back filter, and almost every other tank has got a sponge filter in it as well. Do you have anything under the sand behind you? Just root tabs. So I used to get the CCAM flourish tabs. Well, they might be over there. One sec. Where did I put them? Okay, but then I was down at Aquarium Co-op and I got their brand. And honestly, I don't know the difference. For price, if they work, they've both been doing well for me, so I can't say one's better than the other. I do fertilize though, and I use, I've tried a few different ones, and Easy Green has been the best one for me. It's the cheapest and it's the most effective. So yeah, and that's an easy thing to get shipped because I can get it shipped to a box, and then whenever I have time, drive down and get it. So that part's easy. Or I just drive down to the store and get it. Or somebody I know is going down there and then buys me some. So that's kind of how that works out. Okay, now I've missed the chat a little bit here. Prolific Breed, Hugh is in the house. Hugh, what's going on? Grand Marnier with Hennessy, eh? Yeah, my brother loves Hennessy. Okay. People are saying what's up to some people. Crystal is here. Hello, Crystal. Thanks for stopping in. How is everyone doing? So, French connection. Okay, cool. Okay, TK, hey everyone. So what is the best natural way to lower pH? My water runs like 8.2 to 8.4. Well, we were talking about that a little bit earlier. You can try adding some driftwood, and you can add some almond leaf. Those are two natural ways that I would recommend lowering your pH. We've talked a lot about pH tonight. It's interesting. Rob says whatever works. I'm a huge FX6 guy. Yeah, I like it. I mean, it's the only canister filter that I've ever had, so I can't compare it to another type of canister filter or a sump because I've never had a sump either. But yeah, I like it. And, you know, taking it apart is not that difficult, and cleaning it. I've got a video on that. If you're interested, check it out. And you don't have to do it that often. It depends, I guess, on like how much stuff you have getting sucked up into that filter, but you'll notice the stream slows down. So I don't know, somewhere in the 4 to 6 month range, you've got to take it apart and get all that stuff out of there. Scott is wondering, what are you using to live stream right now, webcam or phone? I am using a Logitech webcam right now to stream, Scott, which I got with my first check when I got monetized earlier this year. Terry Lindsay is in the house. Terry, what's going on? Terry says, how about peat in the filter bag to lower pH? There you go. I think Terry was telling me about he makes like a tea with peat, and he kind of uses that, or he did when he was playing around with his pH. Okay, we've got a few more people in the house here. Petzotics, I don't know if I said hello. If I didn't, hello. Cameron is here learning to fish keep. Hello, Cameron. Fishaholic. Hello, Fishaholic. How are you today? Thank you for stopping in. We have got K-Town Reefer is in the house today. What's going on, K-Town? Okay, some folks are saying hi. 30 in the chat and 18 likes. Let's give Ron what he deserves. Lick that like button. I appreciate that, Fishy Biz. Thanks very much, man. You've had some good streams lately, too. King Lee, Twin City Guppies, what's going on? King, okay, so I was talking a little bit about guppies because I'm kind of getting back into them again, just have the mixed and then the one specific strain. But I was on your website looking around at your stuff, and it looks awesome. Unfortunately, I don't believe you ship to Canada. But maybe we can work something out where something gets shipped somewhere near the border, and I'll work it all out and come back. Jerry Lindsay says, how are your mosaic purple guppies doing? I'm not sure if you're talking to me because I don't have mosaic purple guppies. I've got the blue Hawaiian moss cows, but mosaic are Ashley's favorite, and we'll be setting up a tank with those mosaics in the house. King Scott says that he bought a camera with his first YouTube check too. That's awesome. And he says that, yeah, I'm not even looking at the likes. I know that now I have 32 likes, 33 now. So thank you very much. I know I'm not even kind of watching. I'm just, it's all good. VB23, what's going on? Emma's Aquatic Adventures, hello. You can also lower pH by doing water changes with distilled rain or reverse osmosis units down to 7. Then you can use peat moss, etc. Thirsty Rabbit, thank you very much for hitting that like button. BB23 is all about the white cloud minnows. I just saw some of those. Somebody had some of those. You're not allowed to sell them here anymore because they've become an invasive species. If you have them, you can keep them. But yeah, it was the first time I'd seen them in a long time. Okay, let me see here. Lumpy Dog says, oh my God, something wrong with the loaches behind Ron. They're acting like clowns. Like clowns. Thank you, Cameron. Everyone hit that like button. Fried Fishback says, April's Aquarium also brings in stock of guppies from Thailand to let you know. Yes, that's true. She does. Which is another thing that I was saying that I mean, it's kind of cheating, but I like it to go to a breeder first, a local hobbyist first, and then from there, let them adjust them to our water and then get them. The success rate is really, really high that way. And the other way, it can be high too. If they're invasive, you can see them in the wild. Yes, although I haven't. But yes, that's the thing. Good night, Scott. Thank you very much for stopping in, and thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. That is the best way for sure, Twin Cities Guppy says. Yes. I mean, it's like any fish. If they're not used to our water, like that's why I like like I was talking about liking the Apistogramma Cockatoides, because they've been bred in our water so much. And I bought mine from a breeder, and they've done awesome. That they just get used to it, and I'm not the one who has to go through a bunch of them not being used to the water and them dying. But That's just me. Jesse, HC Aqua, what is going on? Jesse had a video lately on breeding bettas, and that's kind of inspired me to maybe attempt that too. I can have a setup for that, and I already have male and female bettas, and I already have Indian almond leaves, and you know, what's stopping me then? Kind of what am I going to do with all these bettas is what's stopping me. I'm looking at the tank right now that they would go in. That's why I'm looking over top, but it was really cool. If you haven't seen that video from HC Aqua, I highly recommend it. Something actually happened in that video. So maybe you did something when you're taking water out of the tank and your wife was talking to you there, and it just reminded me of how my wife talks to me sometimes. And yeah, I really liked that video. Kingley says, I hate seeing Jesse's fish room because I want it so bad. Well, it's one of a kind. Like, we don't have fish rooms like that over here. Like, we're talking Hawaii, by the way. Yeah, his fish room is awesome. That's another channel that you guys should definitely check out. HC Aqua. We've been going on for 45 minutes here today, and we don't even have a topic. We're just kind of saying hi, and like I was saying, I hadn't been on much lately in the last few months, and normally when I am on, I'm interviewing these great people that are YouTubers, and today I just wanted a chance to come on and talk to the chat and see how everyone's doing, and everything's winding down for me, so I'm going to be available more. I haven't been watching as much YouTube lately either, which I don't like, but that's going to change again, so that's good. And I've got more guests lined up, so we will be doing more of these hanging withs. I just wanted my first one kind of back to just be me and everyone else here. So Hawaii is a fish in our dreams, summer tubs all year. Yeah, that's true. Ruben Rivera Jr. just came across your live. What is going on, Ruben? Hello there. Thank you, Jesse. I missed you too, man. Hawaii is a dream in general. Actually, so yeah, like I would move to Maui in a second if I could. Like, I've been there twice. I've been to Oahu twice, but I would move to Maui in a second. Hey, Ron, are you putting any zebra danios in the tanks? No, I am not, Melvin. But there are 2 zebra danios in this tank. Those 2 zebra danios came years ago when my mother-in-law bought them for my kids. One of them is a glow danio and one of them is a regular danio, and they have just hung around, and I don't really have a tank for them, so they're in this tank and they do well in that tank. So there it is. Bipolar Aquatics, hello, what's going on? Rob, thanks very much for coming in, man. The moss looks great on the driftwood. Thank you very much. This thing was filled with moss, and we had our spring auction a few weeks ago, and I sold most of it, and I know it's just going to keep coming back. So Jen Stranding, I get the feeling you're local since you know about Rogers, but yeah, if you're not part of the Vancouver Aquatic Hobbyist Society, it's definitely worth looking into. I really enjoy it. So it's a small group. Like, I went down to AGA in the Seattle, I can't think of the name off the top of my head. The Seattle Aquatic group has got, you know, over 1,000 people, and Vancouver one has 46, I believe. We are up 46 people right now, and it's not like it's brand new. It's been around for 20 years. So it's not like a booming thing up here, but it's still fun. Ruben saying, what kind of fish do you have and how many tanks do you have? I have got 7 tanks. I've got this tank behind me is like clown loaches, plecos. I have 11 different types of plecos. There's an archer. There's a lot of rainbow fish in there. There's about 7 petricola, Synodontis petricolas in there. And a lot of tiger barbs in there. I've got guppies. I've got a South American tank with Apistogrammas, neons, rummy nose, other types of bristle nose in that tank over there. I've got a lot of different quarries. How many different types of quarries do I have? I've got albino. I've got Mate or Bandit, which is my favorite one. I've got the pepper. I've got the emerald green, which is, I bought these 4 juvenile ones when I was down at AGA. Those are going to be my next quarry breeding project. And I've got, I think that might be it. I might have one other kind of quarry. I've got a couple different strands of guppies. I've got cherry shrimp. I've got some bettas, male and females. I've got rasboras. Yeah, all planted tanks. Yes, King Lee, you did hear guppies. Okay, let's go back here. I've kind of messed up in the chat again. Yeah, I've been looking at that moss and the driftwood. Love it. Speaking of wood, I got to go get firewood. Thanks for the chat later, all. Thank you, Thirsty Rabbit. Thanks for joining us tonight. Thank you very much for the... Okay, well, good night, Fishaholics. I understand that your baby won't let you watch anymore. Good night, baby. Tom from TM Aquatics is here. Hey, Ron, just stopping in to say hi and give you a thumbs up. Thank you very much. Tom is a master pleco breeder as well. He breeds the L134 leopard frog plecos. He's got a crazy automatic water change system in his house. Check out that channel as well. It's very cool. I see that Dave is still the president of the Vancouver Hobby because Dave is not the president anymore. Dave is now the vice president, and George is the new president of the Vancouver Aquatic Hobbyist Society. The French Connection, let me know on my Monday live stream. Okay, I don't have any Hennessy right now. I can't let you know about that one. Do you have any bettas? I have 3 bettas, yes. There's a girl in here. There's a boy that I just moved out of a quarry tank. Was in with a bunch of quarries, but I had to move him into his own tank. Not that I don't believe in bettas and community tanks, because I do. He just was inhibiting the breeding. So right now he's in a tank by himself. And then I've got another one upstairs in a tank with some rasboras and some L144 blue-eyed lemon bristle nose. Punchy, are you going live tonight? I believe Pam is going tomorrow night later on. Dr. S says that he has Julie, Peppered, Mate, Polka Dot, Barbatus, and maybe some other quarries as well. Awesome. Chewy says that they need to change that on the website. I remember Dave from the... Yeah, they're not... It's not them. Yeah. Yes. They do. Dave's just taking a little break. He still wants to be involved. He just doesn't want to run it. He runs the auction still. He just did the AGA auction too. So that was pretty cool. Well, we are going... Donald Fish Vibes, is there a calendar of live streams anywhere so we can know who's on when? There is a Facebook group. Candy will know this one. Aquarium live stream. Sorry. Let me see here. Let me just check. I hear clown loaches pecking behind me. They're happy. So let me just see here. It's called Aquarium live stream information. So that tells me, like, tonight, Tuesday's not my regular time. I went on, nobody else was on, going on at 7 o'clock Western Pacific time. What time zone am I in? Pacific time. So I was like, okay, well, no one's on. Mike Fish Tank Barn was on an hour before. So I'm like, okay, great. I'll just go on after him because I kind of felt like going on. Well, once again, thank you everyone for like the support that everyone's given me. Like, I know I haven't been on a lot lately, and thanks everyone for showing up tonight. It was great. It was a great chance for me to talk to the folks that are in the chat directly today and not just at you. But I do like kind of doing something a little different, which is why I do the interview style. Plus, I love meeting these great YouTubers. I mean, I get to meet like my favorite YouTubers, so it's pretty cool. But I do from time to time like doing the live stream where I just get to hang out with you great people. And yeah. Anyway, I want everyone to have a good night tonight. So I've got a video. My video this Friday is going to be, this is kind of for the hobbyist who's growing their tanks out. Maybe they got more than 2, maybe they have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and they're sick of the bucket water changes, but they don't want to go on to the automatic water change system. And that, I think they should use a Python, which is what I use. And this Friday's video is going to be how to use a Python water changer, which I'm sure a lot of you know how to do, but maybe not everyone does. Ed, hello. Thank you for Dylan Martin. Hello. I want to say hi to everyone while they're here, while we're still here. So I've got that one coming out, and then I might do one on breeding quarries the following week. I've kind of started doing one like that. But yeah, that's what I've got going on, and hopefully I'll do a live stream next week too. July 1st is Canada Day. July 4th, obviously, is American Independence Day. So we'll see if I can squeeze one in somewhere. I don't think I'll be committing to the Wednesday night every week. I'll just kind of see where I can fit in and go from there. So join me next week for another edition, Friday Fish Facts.